the friendship arc between Oshi and Itsuomi have kind of begun, but at the same time, not really. So I guess in a way, a rivalry has almost begun too. But all that seems to be resolved for the time being, and I almost hope for the season, so we don't have to revisit that. It doesn't feel like something that really needs to be revisited right now. Maybe something at big turning points and moments throughout the relationship, and maybe just further ways of showing the evolution almost of Oshi possibly becoming closer to Itsuomi as a result. But for the time being, I'm not too interested in having much more of that. So hopefully we kind of just go along. Hopefully we get more moments between our main two. Hopefully we develop Shin and Emma a little bit more, because there's a lot more that we still need to do, and Shin's got some things he needs to get off his chest. And hopefully we push a little bit further with Rin and Kyoma, and I guess any other characters if they kind of come involved at some other point and we maybe figure things out. Yuki's got a job. She's probably going to be starting soon. That's pretty cool. Excited to see where that goes. Just excited, I guess, in general. I'm assuming we probably end here with setup of her working and saving up and then having money and then maybe planning a trip for them to kind of go away, but probably not within this season. And then that'll probably be like one of the earliest things if they decide to do a second season. And if they don't decide to, then probably one of the first things that you would end up reading if you go back to the manga would be my assumption. So we'll see, I guess, if they kind of what way they decide to direct this here. Very excited. If you like it all, like and subscribe. If you like it all, like and subscribe to me a lot to me. Feel free to run for the discussion. Leave any comments for this particular series. Let's go on with episode 11. Aww. Is your ankle good now? Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. I like Yuki's hair. We didn't really talk about it. So you can do it. Yuki takes it, all of it. Yuki does it all on her own, if we're being real. It's embarrassing. Yeah, none of your business, buddy. The savior. Yuki. I wonder if we're ever gonna get her to a point where she doesn't have to turn like completely red when she sees him. What do you mean by that? I love that reaction out of her. Aww. She's so happy though. Nice. About time, buddy. I've been unemployed a little too long. No. Maybe on occasion. Yeah. Bro's on the fucking Titanic. Yeah. Cool. It's good luck, dude. Oh, yeah. Prayers. She can't fail now. Everyone's just watching them. Yuki's a very private person, okay? Yeah. I do too. He's holding it. He's holding it. Nice. Progress. Hey, take your time, dude. Listen, I believe in you. Are we gonna get some more moments? This is what I'm here for. I need that. I also like the detail of him pulling away the phone and actually having something on the screen as opposed to just keeping it black. So many people keep it like that.
大丈夫。
Damn, she just all of a
カフ
sudden
ェ
learned
グランブル
German.
ーこの辺だと思うけど。あ、お店の前
Grand
に
Blue?
仁王立ち。
Hopefully this isn't like the other
この
one.
人がまどかちゃんのおばさん。
あ、ゆきちゃん
I think that's your
伝
lady.
説はこれからよろしくね。
Let's go, Yuki!
ゆ
Let's
きちゃんに来てもらえる
go!
とうちも助かりそうだし、
Mm.
平日は割と落ち着いてるけど週末は忙しいから頑張ろうね。
Let's
みん
go!
な働きマシンみたいになるからさ。その息ね。
Yes.
みんなで頑張ろう。
I see her in her.
こ
Yep.
ういうとこまどかちゃんに似てるかも。
あの子の周りの人たちに私も恩返ししていきたいって
Awesome.
思ったな。
Gosh, she's great, dude.
うるさいだけでしょあの子。気をつけて帰るんだよ。
といつも
Oh, we're
めっ
gonna
ち
run
ゃ
to
主張して
Oshi
く
here
れ
a
るお
million
姉
percent.
さん
I
は。
bet everything I got.
あ、いた。あそこ並ぼう。
Oh,
お次のお客様、隣のレジへどうぞ。
マスク動いた？マイバッグ？ポイントカード？
あ、それ大丈夫で
ah,
す。不便だよな。
absolutely. Can't even see them.
一緒に行くけどな。
Nah, I'm good, dude. But thanks.
どうしたの？
Thanks for the offer, but I'm good.
優しい。
Yeah, you're changing. You need to. That's not like you.
いつあみさん。
That's it? I wanted a speech. Nah, to be honest, I don't know what else he would say.
誰？あいつ？
Hmm.
付き合ってんだろ。
Yes,
なん
sir.
で知ってるの？
I just. You
この
know.
前。
Oh, they talked, right?
いつの間に仲いいの？
いいわけねえだろ。
Have y'all going on dates without me?
あいつにもし泣かされたりしたら
Alright, buddy.
俺に言えよ。
No. Fuck you.
それくらい大嫌いなんだよ。
No, I'm good, dude.
あいつのことが。
God, I don't like him. I don't. I'm sorry. I just don't. I just don't.
人に嫌われるような人じゃないよ。
I noticed that.
すごく優しい。
あいつのこと褒めんなよ。
Well, a calmer
俺の
man's.
前でそんな手話使うな。
Listen, I get it, but like, calm down, dude. To be fair, though, at least he's being a little bit more open with himself here. Usually he wouldn't say anything, so he'd just walk away and he'd be like, "Ah, you're an idiot." So I don't know. Guess there's some progress, right?
何をどう切り出しても
Nah, just let it be.
今はどれも正解じゃない気がする。
Also, like, I don't care.
もしくん、今日やっぱりなんか違う。
Hmm.
まるで私の知らない人になってしまったみたいだ。
しばらく停車いたします。お急ぎのところ、お客様にはご迷惑をおかけいたします。
ユキ。
And she gets scared because she doesn't know what's going on.
ユキはアナウンスが聞こえない。状況もわからずに不安そうだった。満員電車で身動き取れずにいたのもあるけど、こういう時手話で何か伝えられたらよかったのになって不甲斐なくて、それからだった。本格的に手話を勉強し始めたのは。
To be helpful to those in need at that point. I mean, mainly it's just for her, but
俺なりにあいつのことを。
yeah.
ほんと素直じゃねえな俺は。
Yep. You had your shot, dude, years and years ago and said you didn't.
なんか
変っていうか、
This ain't you, though.
い
You
つ
mean
もと
someone
違う
else.
感じが。
もっと素直になりたいと思ってはいる。
That's a good start,
あ
dude.
れ、なんで手話使わないんだろう。今、誰かと喧嘩中？
Yeah.
誰かまあ
Yes.
喧嘩みてえなもん。
Yes.
でも、王子くんが手話で話しかけてくれるたびに、 前向きな気持ちになったよ。頑張ろうって思えた。王子くんの心根の優しさに気づいてる人はちゃんといると思う。だから気にしすぎず、もうちょっと素直になってね。
結局そういうオチかよ。
She's not wrong. Calm down a little bit, you know?
いや。了解。
You can be a good person. You're just not some of the time. So just don't be like that.
私は一体どこまで王子くんのことを知ってるんだろう。
It doesn't really feel like you ever really made that effort.
王子くんにどれだけ届いてるかはわからないけど。
He absolutely will.
王子くん、元気になるといいな。
今電話して大丈夫？
うん。ちょうど仕事終わったとこ。
Come on, dude, get on the bus.
週末時間ある？
My God.
エマの行きたいところ。ゆっくり話せそうな場所で。
今度は何の話？
How much I love you.
会った時話す。
You missed the bus.
じゃあ今日からよろしくね。
Let's go.
まずは
Does she get a
食器やカトラ
uniform?
リー、調理器具とか収納場所を覚えてね。
Or she just put an apron
これ
on?
はコーヒー豆行く時の見るね。
I was hoping it was like, I don't know what I was actually hoping for, but it would be different than this.
準備してくれる？
Alright.
よし。じゃあやってみようか。
Seems simple enough.
バイト代入ったら何に使うの？
A trip. Oh, that's a good start. Nice.
旅行か。友達と？
It's kind of. And then she turns around. I get it.
そっか、そういうことね。頑張らなきゃじゃん。よし。じゃあもりもり食べ。
Oh, damn. Here we go. Here we go. A big moment. She seems nervous, like almost like she knows what it's about. Maybe she doesn't. But she's nervous of what it will be about.
もうか買ってきたよ。
This hair's different again. My God.
ここ夜来ると綺麗なんだね。もっと真っ暗かと思ってたよ。
月も明るいしね。
It's a really cool spot, though.
昼間はおしゃれなカフェとかキッチンカーとか出てるって聞いて気になってたん。
And then we didn't come there in the day. So similar how we could tell that something's different with Oshi, we can kind of tell something's really different with him.
何かあった？
A lot, actually. He's been going through a lot.
彼女できたって。
Just no lead-in. I hope she takes it good.
そっか。
I mean, it's probably gonna be hard,
ご
but
めんね。しんちゃんずっと気遣ってくれてたんだ。
俺がいいんじゃん。慰めとかじゃねえよ。
look at him shake.
わがままみてえなもん。俺にしとけば。
しんちゃん、何言って。
本気で言ってる。
もしかして私のことって思う時もあったよ。
Always has been, dude. Remember there's one thing that you said, right?
本当はエマのこと好き。
How he was hung up on the one thing Itsuomi said. She got hung up over the one thing that he said, right?
死んでも言わないつもりだったから。
My God. Yeah, I would look like that too.
いつおみさん。
Staring at the fish. Yeah, we up. Outside?
外？
Can you just do that?
なんで？
Yeah, I mean...
逆光だし見えづらいのか。降ります。
Just wanted to see you.
帰る？
She's like, what was that for? Well, she came outside, though. Aww. No! She got the little pink Crocs on.
もう今日会えたことが嬉しくて。
I mean, that's kind of why he's here.
何日か会ってなかったよな。割と離れてても読み取れるけど、明るくなきゃちゃんと見えねえな。
Yeah.
いつおみさん、これからこうやって会える時間貴重になっていくんだろうな。しばらく節約と貯金頑張ります。
あんま切り詰めんなよ。時間もな。節約じゃなくても結構タダでいろんなことできるんだから。半日とか2、3時間でも時間合わせてデートすればいいじゃん。付き合ってから計画して2人でどっかへ行き
Right. We can make the time if we need to.
たいところってどんなところ？
私が決めていいんですか？
I mean, yeah.
お金を貯めて一緒に海外行くことばかり考えてたから気づいてなかった。他にもそうやって考えたりしていいん。
Right. You get so hyper focused on like one thing that you no longer
私が
do the little things like that really matter the
すげえ
most,
楽し
right?
みだな。
どうしよう。二人で一体どこに行こう。
Big decision to be made. As always, I don't think I need to say the thing, but I'm gonna say the thing. Great episode again. Can't really be too happy or too much happier with what we're kind of getting here. Everything is lining up in perfect ways, you know, and the things that I want. Kyoma and Rin are getting closer. We didn't get a lot of moments, but we got some cute like pictures and stuff of them together and her talking about the situation and how she's feeling and everything, right? So slight progress going on there. Tomi hinted towards some stuff too, so things are moving in the right direction there. We got more cute and fun moments between Itsuomi and Yuki, right? So great start over there. Emma and Shin developing possibly well, but I mean, he at least got the words out and expressed some things that he wasn't able to the last time, so progress there. And then Yuki kind of saw, or we as viewers as well also got to see Oshi kind of changing a little bit, and the way that he's approaching things and the way that he's acting is slightly different. He's no longer just immediately like kind of turning into like a child version of himself with the way that he approaches and says everything, right? He is a little bit better. He's a little bit more letting his emotions show with certain things. He's a little bit more understanding, trying to be a little more gentle with the things that he says. And that's always a plus. While I still don't love him for the variety of reasons, you know, he's slowly making that slight change. And he even said that last episode that he probably does need a change. And then he even was like, I might have already changed. It's like, no, you haven't. But you're slowly showing it to us here, so that's a good thing, and we would like to continue to see that, and hopefully all kind of goes well there. I don't think there's anything in particular I want to talk about with this episode, so let's just kind of skim through and see if there's something that comes to mind. Really cute picture. Absolutely love this. I love just seeing Rin happy. I don't know how many times I need to say that, but I absolutely do. Every time she gets the smile, I'm there for it. I really like Yuki's outfit throughout basically the entirety of this episode, and her hair as well. I think all looks fantastic, and I'm here for it. I love also her Rin kind of being like, well, he hasn't asked me out or anything, so I don't know. It's like, Rin, take the initiative. You can do this. You can bring up the courage. I know you got this, you know. And it's kind of like what Yuki did. The first like real meeting and everything, but getting the contact info and all this other stuff all came through what Yuki was trying to do. And well, Itsuomi did initiate the relationship itself. Yuki definitely has been not somebody who's just sitting around and waiting on him to do absolutely everything, and she's kind of being out there and being vocal about the things that she wants at certain moments. Of course, sometimes she isn't as well, but it works, you know, when somebody does that, when you have that trade and each person can kind of speak up and say the things that they want and are willing to take that chance, things can kind of work. So hopefully Rin can kind of pull something together here. I mean, realistically, Kyoma can easily do it as well, but he is at the point too where he needs to like really make sure this is something that he wants. So like it's a little easier on him, especially because I'm assuming he's definitely older than what we're kind of under the impression of, or I mean, in comparison to what everybody else's age is. So he probably is more so waiting on her as well. So it causes like this back and forth like issue thing. So just do it, Rin. You got this. Anyways, more fun moments there. We end up talking about Yuki's interview and the things that she's happening. I like this, like just do you ever get nervous? And he's like, I guess, but like not really. Cute moments of encouragement between the two, and hopefully her job ends up going over well. Shin is completely destroyed, still doesn't know how he's going to approach this situation. I like how he just sits here and looks at the CD, and like that's his connection to her almost, in the way that he's like thinking about her and holding her closely, because he's not sure of how he wants to do this, and he doesn't want to hurt her, and he also wants to like make sure things go over well, but she also understands his own feelings, and it's like a back and forth, like constant problem. And I feel awful about that. The interview goes over well, of course, as somebody who has a family member that's close to her that has to deal with being deaf as well. It makes it pretty easy for her to kind of understand the situation that Yuki's going to be in here, and can kind of cater towards her a little bit more. So of course things end up working. She's very similar to Madoka, which is really funny, and I like that a lot too. Yuki has to stop because her mom wants her to at the grocery store and pick up a few things before she ends up going home, and of course she runs into a problem here where this guy takes her in line, and she tries to avoid going to this person. You know, she tried picking a certain line for a reason, and then Buddy kind of cut her off and dragged her over to his own. And then he puts on a mask, and it makes it impossible for her to know what he's talking about. And then she doesn't want to like be seen as rude, but she can't also speak, and she doesn't know like what to do. So she starts panicking. Of course, at this moment, Oshi ends up stepping in. Luckily that he was kind of there and he saves us. This is the sort of thing, it's like, I don't know. I feel like you should be able to take the hint. Like, she's got the hearing aids in, you know, she's clearly like not responding to you and looking at you like you got 8 heads. Like, she doesn't, I don't know. I feel like those are one of those things that you would hope that the worker takes whatever. Either way, I also hate when workers are like overly asking you things, even if it is like part of their job to like ask if you have like certain things. It's just like, dude, just leave it. Sometimes people just want to come in and out. Like, I don't want to talk, you know? Also, you're wearing a damn mask. Like, I can't understand or hear you or see you. And it's just like, it creates nothing but problems there. And then we get moments between all of them here, him still talking about like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, I'll be there for you if he ever does anything, and I don't mess with him and all that. It's like, all right, buddy, you and your tough act. It's like, you're not gonna do nothing, but I guess you're kind of just there. I don't know. I don't care for him or when he says things like that or just whatever. It's just more of like a front. I feel like he's kind of put up here and tell himself that he's going to do something and kind of reassure her as well that he's like always going to be there. And it's just like, all right, sure, I guess it works. I don't know. I don't care for that. But basically we get to see throughout the extent of this conversation how much he actually has kind of changed over the past couple days, I'd assume, right? Or at least his thought process has changed. He hasn't probably actually changed, of what he needs to start doing to work towards that change, and maybe being a little less aggressive, being a little less, you know, rude towards her in the way that he kind of attacks people, and being a little bit more kind to others is kind of what he needs to do. Get back to the roots almost of when he initially felt bad and wanted to really take on sign language and learn it, through the idea of like seeing that Yuki wouldn't be able to understand this message or anything on the train that they were on, or the announcement that was happening, but everybody else is able to hear it, right? Like, it's gonna cause a problem, of course, and she's probably gonna be in a panic and not know why they stopped and what was actually happening. So it's like a special thing, of course, he wanted to do, and he wanted to do it to help others, of course. So at this point, maybe you should act a little bit more like that, right? And I think he's getting that into his head slightly, which you would hope kind of progresses that a little bit more. He ended up shutting her down at some point too while she was trying to talk about Somi, and it was like a pretty assertive move of him to like basically just stop her from signing at that point. And then it almost like shuts him down to the point that he doesn't end up signing back to her at any point throughout the rest of this too, and he just kind of talks about like the way that he ends up feeling. She ends up reassuring him a little bit more about like how important it was that he was kind of around and at school, and how like helpful it was, the things that like her mom said that she probably felt, and he's like, I don't know about that. We end up seeing like she was actually pretty thankful about having those situations, because of course going to this new location where like you don't have any friends and you can't really communicate in the same way with everybody else is definitely going to be difficult. So I definitely get that, but she's definitely seeing him in a different light here, at least the way that he's acting, which I guess is pretty cool. And hopefully he just keeps it up, right? That's all that we can really ask for. We don't get too much of him reverting back into the shell that he was once in, and hopefully he just moves past it to a point, also realizing that he had his opportunity and his stuff with her before, and he kind of blew it by the way that he was always acting and not kind of doing anything to be proactive in those situations. So I mean, you know, there's definitely room for improvement. We just gotta see it. This moment we get Emma. I don't know if she was getting off the bus or on the bus and she just didn't get on the bus, and like don't know what happened, but anyway, she missed the bus basically. And she talks to Shin for a little bit about meeting up because that's the plans. And basically, she can immediately tell just the way that he like approaches it that there's definitely something probably a little bit more serious on his mind, and it definitely probably gets her going of like, what the hell could it be? I don't know if she toys with the idea of, you know, he could possibly be trying to confess in some sort of way. I don't know if it's her toying with the idea that it's something Itsuomi related, if it's something like really bad that happened maybe to him. I don't know what she's going with here, but you can definitely tell that she's a little like on edge about like what it possibly could be and a little nervous for the whole confrontation that they have. Yuki has her first day at work. Things seem like they go over pretty well, and they're pretty fun, which I'm very happy about. Shen and Emma end up meeting up. This is a really cool location for it, and I absolutely love that. And Shin's like, all right, sit down, stop yapping. We're gonna talk. He changed his hair once again, so that's pretty cool. And then he starts just discussing it all, right? He does a good job too with his words of really having something formed out of like how he wants to display how much he actually cares for her. I don't know if it's like necessarily the best approach initially. It's like, yo, you know that guy that you're obsessed with? Well, he has a girlfriend, so forget about him and then just come with me instead because like I like you instead. It's like, cool, right? Sure, yeah, but at the same time, this is something that she's been obsessed with, a person basically for years and years and years on end. So for you to immediately come forward and just be like, hey, this is happening, but let's just shift gears and go this direction is like a little much for probably somebody to take in, and the way that she's going to have to react or feel in that moment is probably a lot. Kind of coming clean fully, and she definitely realizes that. It's fun because it's like a parallel almost to of like Shin and Oshi, of similar people, of people who have like kind of denied their feelings in the way that they've like kind of approached these things in the past before, and now each of them are trying to change and like be a bit more honest and open with themselves into the other people that they actually care about, which is like a good development thing, a thing that you actually want to see. But it's also fun to note like Emma holding on to this one moment that happened before of him being like, she'd be the absolute last person that I'm ever going with in that situation. And she's just like always clung on to that. She's like, I figured that you probably liked me at some point, but like, I just can't, you know, like go with that because based on what you said and everything. It's like, yeah, that makes sense because he held on to the exact same thing that Itsuomi ended up telling him of being like, oh, I'm not interested in her right now. And then he just assumed that that would mean at some other point that they would get together. And then he's constantly never made a move or done anything because he's just been holding out hope that, or not hope, but like the thought that that would actually happen at some time. So it's like each of them clinging on to these one thing that like somebody else said that they actually like didn't mean in the way that they said. Well, like, I don't know. It's just, it's unfortunate of a situation. And we got a great moment with Emma too, where they just draw her like this, like what the I don't know if she was like shocked to the point that like he would be willing, like he said, to take it to his grave of like maybe not telling her like how he actually feels or anything, or the fact that he would just take like the fact that he would never fall for somebody like her, or even just for her, literally till he dies. Like that would just never end up happening, and he's always intended for that to happen until like this very moment or something. Like I don't know, and like which one I guess necessarily caused her shock, but regardless, it's a great moment. Impressed. Let's see, I like how goofy they kind of draw her at moments, and it really gives her a lot of life and personality. And I hope things go over well here. I'm assuming they don't initially go well and they kind of need time. She'll probably definitely need time to like reflect on the situation and everything, but hopefully we can get some sort of like at least closure or open-ended like feelings like that we can get in their situation until whatever's going to progress further probably in the manga. Hopefully they do that in the next episode so that we don't always just get left like what the hell's going to end up happening. So we'll have to, I guess, see how that kind of goes. But he did good. I mean, he did everything that he could. At this moment, we end up finding out that Itsuomi ends up showing up aside. This is the only thing I'll say I don't think I like about the show in general, is I think they do a really poor job at displaying how much time has passed, because we literally early in the episode see the two of them like together and talking, and then immediately the next time that we have a conversation with them, it's like, oh, it's been a little while, but it was like that was a 10 minutes ago for us, you know. So it doesn't feel like, and they don't also like display it in any sort of way. All they do is like, here's my interview, and then all of a sudden she was working. It was like, okay, that was assuming another day, but like that doesn't feel like a long time to us, but according to them it was like multiple days on end. And it's just like, to me, I can't get a good grasp for like how much time has actually ended up passing. It almost just feels like everything in the episode has happened within one specific day as opposed to over the span of like a week or something. So it causes like I don't know, like when things are happening or what's actually happening at what time until the characters have to bring attention to it in like those sort of moments. I like Itsuomi just showing up though, and it like immediately not having anything to say or whatever. It's just like he wanted to see her, like actually just see her because it's been so many days, right? And then that's all he really wanted. But of course she ends up coming down here and then they have to have a nice little conversation, which is really, really cute moments, I would say, overall between the two of them, and him just kind of being like, look, we both got jobs, we both got school, we both got responsibilities and things, and of course we're going to be busy, but it's like we can make time. Like we easily can make time for each other, whether we actually have to go out and do things or we can just come together like this and hang out in certain moments. Like we don't have to, let's not forget about like those type of things, because those are really special moments and things that can often get put like, you know, nobody really thinks about them, right? And they go to the back of the mind, and then at some point you realize, oh crap, we haven't done this. I mean, how many like relationships and stuff do you know of, like people have been married for years and years on end, and then you just find out that like they've never been on like a date or anything in 10 years or something. It's like insane to even think about that, but that happens with like a lot of people, and then their communication and everything's always off. It's just because they always try and justify and say like all these things are like keeping them so busy and stuff, but they don't like actually go out of their way and make time for each other or do anything. It's like when they're fully probably capable of doing it most of the time. So it's like a thing I think that's like really appropriate for him to be like, look, we can do that. If you have things you want to do, if I have things we want to do, we should be able to tell each other, hey, let's go do this. I would like to go do that. And it gives Yuki an opportunity to basically plan their date here, because he's the one who seems to be dragging her around. He's the one who's like, hey, I want to go do this. Oh, let's go on a trip and let's go do all this, right? Like, when's the last time? I don't think any time at this point she's been like, I want us to do this, right? So having that opportunity at this point where she can make her own decision and find somewhere that maybe she's always wanted to go and she's never had the opportunity to, or she can find some place that she might just all of a sudden become interested in that she wants to go to, I think is really, really cool. And it's special because it's something that she might be excited, and maybe even it's a place that she's been plenty of times that maybe he hasn't, and it's a way of letting him more into your world and seeing something that you like really like and that you're always kind of going to or enjoying or whatever, right? Like, and it can provide so many fun opportunities, whether you're experiencing something together for the first time or you're experiencing the thing that you may love for the first time with somebody else that you love. Like, it just, I don't know, there's plenty of really cool moments that can come out of that, and really cool connections that you can make as a result, that I think definitely shouldn't go unnoticed. And I think that's really what he's trying to go for here, and he seems to really have a lot of the stuff down, which is pretty cool. That's all I got. Another fantastic one. Very excited to see where they decide to head for us to end things off here. I'm assuming my guess for the next episode would be entire date at some point, like half the episode dedicated to that, probably some of the episode dedicated to what ended up coming as a result of Shin and Emma, and then I'm assuming we get like a moment where Kyoya and Rin end up start dating, would be the assumption. And I don't think we need to build that or like go too crazy or anything on that one either. So I'm assuming we could fit all three in the next episode without having to go too crazy. But fingers crossed, I think all three of those definitely could get done, and hopefully all goes well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as much as I have. If you liked it all, hit the like and subscribe. They mean a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. Leave me comments if this is a better series. Very excited to see what happens in our finale, and I will see you guys then. Hopefully you guys have a good one.